Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vrinda, and it gives me a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of NSRCEL. Edison famously said once, to invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. So that's exactly what we do at NSRCEL. We provide a sandbox with all the relevant tools and materials to aspiring inventors and entrepreneurs. That helps them not just ideate, but after that we take a step forward and help them implement their ideas as well. NSRCEL is the hub of all entrepreneurial activity on IIM Bangalore campus. Since 2002, we have touched over 30,000 entrepreneurs, actively incubated 85 plus ventures that have gone on to create about 5,000 jobs. And today they have created market valuation in excess of $1 billion. But in spite of this long journey, we've started in 2002, and even after these big numbers, nothing even today, till date, excites us more than seeing fresh ideas and passionate entrepreneurs. We are always happy to meet young entrepreneurs, and I see quite a few of them here today. So it's a happy day for all of us. So welcome especially to all the young entrepreneurs present here. And as always, through all of our activity, we have been ably supported by our partners from the government as well as from corporates. So we are very happy to welcome them as well. So a warm welcome to Mr. H.K. Mittal, Dr. Anita Gupta, Mr. Junjunwala, and N.S. Raghavan, and Dr. Raghuram, the director of IIM Bangalore, and all our partners from Texas Instruments. So once again, warm welcome to everyone, and I hand over the stage now to Sangeeta from Texas Instruments.
Thank you, Vrinda. Welcome everyone to the awards ceremony for the DST and Texas Instruments India Innovation Challenge Design Contest 2016, anchored by the NSRCEL at IIM Bangalore and supported by MyGov and DIPP. My name is Sangeeta and I work with Texas Instruments. I want to start off by introducing this illustrious panel of guests that we have with us today. Our chief guest is Professor Ashok Junjunwala. He's the Principal Advisor to the Ministry of Power and New and Renewable Energy for the Government of India. We also have with us our other guests of honor, Shri H.K. Mittal, Advisor and Member Secretary at the National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Also from the NSTEDB is Dr. Anita Gupta. She's the Director and the Associate Head. We have Professor G. Raghuram, the Director of IIM Bangalore. Mr. N.S. Raghavan, the patron of the N.S. Raghavan Center for Entrepreneurial Learning and member of the Board of Governors for IIM Bangalore. We have Professor Suresh Bhagwatullah, the chairperson of the Ecosystem Development for the NSRCEL at IIM Bangalore. We have Professor K. Kumar, chairperson for the academic programs at the NSRCEL. Mr. Rajiv Shani, COO of the NSRCEL at IIM Bangalore. And finally, our very own Dr. Peter Bolita, President, Education Technology and VP of Academic Engagement and Corporate Citizenship at Texas Instruments. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us today. I want to start off by inviting Sanjay Srivastava, Director for TI India's University Program, to talk to us about what an eventful year this has been for the IICDC.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a great pleasure to be here. This has been an exciting year. We have seen creations from a student in field of agriculture, field of medicals, so many other areas. They have really created groundbreaking innovations with our technology and with the support from NSRCEL and the Government of India. When I was actually going through the stalls, I was going back 1 year in time. And I was thinking about when last year IICDC was just a concept. And that this concept of India Innovation Challenge was resting on three very primary, very basic, important convictions. The first conviction was that technical innovation has huge potential to implement groundbreaking fundamental changes in the way society lives. This is one. The second one was that if the technical innovation is supported by strong business guidelines, it has potential to reach out to the masses in the country. And the third, that Indian engineering students have great potential and they should be the flag bearer of this contest. With these three basic convictions, we started this program. And then we started thinking about who could be the other partners, because we knew that TI has very strong lineage of innovations in technical space. We wanted partners from who can support us from incubation perspective. We also needed entities which can enable a lot of ecosystem partners for us. So we contacted Department of Science and Technology, Mr. Harkesh Mittal, and it happened also in a very interesting manner, which always surprises me. I sent LinkedIn request to Mittal Saab, and within 3 hours, that LinkedIn request was accepted. It was surprising, okay? And then, in fact, I sent out a meeting request on the same email thread, and day after, I was sitting in Delhi with Dr. Anita Gupta, Mittal Saab, as well as other officials of DST, and I was talking about the concept of IICDC and what kind of support government can provide to this contest. And this is where the whole journey started. DST connected us to MyGov, and only after engaging with MyGov, we realized the huge power of MyGov platform. And after that, in fact, Mittal Saab also introduced us to NSRCEL. And there is another story of engaging our collaboration, instructing our collaboration with NSRCEL. I realized that if the two organizations which have very distinct strength areas, bringing a collaboration would be very enriching exercise. We, TI, had a lot of strength on the technical side. NSRCEL is well known for incubation strength. So we discussed a lot of collaboration model in the starting. And we zeroed on, at the end, on two specific things which built the whole collaboration model based on the strength of both the organizations. And that's how the whole journey started. And then TI Bangalore chapter also supported us. Through TI Bangalore chapter, we had 48 CEOs and founders of the company who evaluated these entries out of 11,000 students who participated. Similarly, there were 10 investors also. And as we progressed, we raised our bar for the qualification criteria of the project. And every time, student teams actually surprised us. We raised the bar, and the students do better. And this is how we come here today with 18 teams who are competing for the awards and the seed money. You have a long way here, all the students and all winners. Some get seed funds, get awards, but okay, everyone is present here today. They are all winners. With that, thank you very much. Good luck for the next part of the event. Sangeeta, thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay, for summarizing what a wonderful year it's been for the IICDC in terms of the scale it's grown to and the impact that it has had. Okay, fun fact about our next guest, Peter. He started off as a mathematics educator. He was also a math and science district supervisor and a teaching with technology instructor before joining TI way back in 2000. Since then, he's served key leadership roles in marketing, sales, and product strategy across North America, Europe, and Asia. Peter's role has always been focused on education and strengthening communities to engineer a better future. He's passionate about engaging today's students to build the problem-solving and critical thinking skills that are needed for tomorrow's workforce. Please welcome on stage Dr. Peter Bolita, President, Education Technology and VP of Academic Engagement and Corporate Citizenship at TI. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you, Sangeeta. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here in Bangalore and as we conclude what has been an extremely exciting Innovation Design Challenge contest for engineering students across India. And without a doubt, days like today are the very best part of my job at Texas Instruments, where I get to interact with students that exemplify exactly what TI aims to do through its global education initiatives. and that is to provide hands-on experiential learning opportunities that allow students to turn your ideas into innovations, into realities, and to help shape the future. Worldwide, TI encourages the use of our technology in a way that helps teachers teach and helps students learn. It's our belief that interactive learning tools and resources nurture a natural curiosity for how and why things work. And we know that inspires future engineers and perhaps even tomorrow's scientists, mathematicians, doctors, and teachers. And of course, this includes India and why we're all here today to experience the outcomes of the design challenge that we posed to engineering students across the country. And so on that, I would like to thank and personally thank all of those that were involved to make today's contests a reality. So the Indian Institute of Bangalore, who's also hosting today's finals, the Department of Science and Technology, the MyGov platform, TIE Bangalore, NSRCEL Bangalore, and many others from the India business and startup communities that were here today and throughout the contest. Our intent was to help nurture innovation in India. And I'd like to say that if the student designs that we've had an opportunity to see today is any indication, I believe that collectively we've accomplished that goal. And some of the ideas that were submitted, by the way, these ideas were 100% submitted by the students. They address problem-solving needs across 19 sectors of the Make in India government initiative. And I went through and I just jotted down 4 examples. One was a water mapping system that provides accurate data to hydrologists and geologists in order to identify and more efficiently use what is today's wasteful sources of water, such as surface runoff and drainage. And then there was the prosthetic hand that is able to improve upper extremity amputee function. There was a garbage bin system that turns various forms of waste into reusable materials. And a wearable device for pregnant women to monitor their real-time body parameters to help them have a healthy pregnancy. So there's clearly no shortage of student imagination to help make our world safer, greener, healthier, and even more fun. And that gets us really excited at Texas Instruments. In fact, the reason for TI's university program and why it exists, as well as why we hold design contests, is to give engineering students the tools and resources needed to go beyond theory. We want you to actually practice engineering concepts and put your creative minds to use to solve tomorrow's real-world problems. And clearly, all the teams that are here today have done just that. So on behalf of TI, let me offer a sincere congratulations to the finalists. Each of you have raised the bar for what technology can do. And I also want to thank you for your enthusiasm and desire to change the world. And one common thread I've seen in many innovations today was social purpose, more so than I've seen probably at any design contest around the world, even over the last 5 years. And I think you're on to something. And I think you're on to something that will change the world. So I want to also say, I have no doubt that those of you who I have had the opportunity of speaking with today will go on to do great things. So good luck today, and good luck in your exciting futures. So on that point, I'll hand it back over to Sangeeta, who will announce the winners represented by women's student teams. Thank you.
Peter, I would ask you to just stay back because you'll be presenting the award. Thank you so much for beautifully summarizing TI's unwavering commitment to engineering education. We're going to start off with our first award, which is the Aspiring Tech Talent Award by the TI India Women's Initiative Network. This award seeks to honor the spirit of creativity of women innovation, and also we're going to recognize the contributions of this exceptional women team. Please welcome on stage the STM Institute of Technology. the Aspiring Talent Award, you guys. Let's give it up for them. Thank you, team, and thank you, Peter. Our next guest is a member of the Global Future Council on Mobility of the World Economic Forum, Executive Council of the National Aviation University, and he's on the board of directors of several companies in the fields of infrastructure, logistics, and education. He has offered consultancy services to over 100 organizations and has served on various government policy-making and advisory committees. He specializes in infrastructure and transport systems and logistics and supply chain management. He's published over 35 referred papers in journals and written over 155 case studies, and also published 6 co-authored books. Please welcome this incredible person, the director of IIM Bangalore, Professor G. Raghuram, on stage to talk about IIM Bangalore's experience in collaborating with TI for IICDC 2016.
Hi, good afternoon to all of you. Actually, being new at IIM Bangalore, 5 months as on date, and seeing the initiatives of NSRCEL, it's quite overwhelming. I think, first of all this is about partnerships, and really thank TI for giving us the opportunity for, being able to anchor this kind of a contest. Well, thank the DST for, supporting this. And we look forward to doing a lot more, on these lines. I'm really happy that Peter picked up the, what kind of moved me to when we went around seeing the finalists here is this overarching sense of social purpose. I really think that's that's the way, at least when we are looking at India. I mean, not only issues of safety, which affects all of us, health, which affects all of us, but specifically areas like agriculture or anything that sort of directly addresses the bottom half of the population. I think these are, that's really where we need to focus. And I'm glad that these kind of decisions are enabling this to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be repeating what anybody else after me would say about NSRCEL, but I think first of all, firstly I must thank, and all of you that Mr. Raghavan himself is here, who supported the creation of the NS Raghavan Center for Entrepreneurial Learning. Thank you very much, Mr. Raghavan. When I came here, almost the first week, what NSRCEL was doing was selecting a group of women entrepreneurs from, funneling them down from like 1,500 aspirants through a series of, if you will, learning, kind of a boot camp, and, finally selecting, I think, what originally was intended to be like maybe 12, and because seeing the quality, went up to a higher number of women who actually are now being incubated at the NSRCEL. So a focus on women entrepreneurs. And, the interesting thing was it was actually leveraging some of the other initiatives or domains that IIM Bangalore has, been building up expertise in. So this whole idea of funneling happened because IIM Bangalore also has MOOCs, the massive open online courses, and a course on entrepreneurship, which is on a MOOC, was used as the first sort of filter to, those who completed and maybe got a certain score at the end of it. So that was a tremendous sort of, again, internal partnership, if you will, of activities. Actually, the MOOCs in the area of entrepreneurship are growing, and I picked up yesterday that hopefully as this contest, repeats in future years, this ability to funnel down, in its own way will add efficiency to this process, apart from, of course, picking up the right kind of people to move from step to step and honing up their ideas. I think it will be a great opportunity to those who will get incubated as a consequence of this at the NSRCEL. Well, I think another person that I must connect with here is Professor Junjunwala, who, of course, spent long years at IIT Madras and, makes me very happy. And I'm an alum from IIT Madras. And we have earlier touched base on, from IIM Ahmedabad, when we were doing work on telecom, that he, again, was the doyen of doing a lot of interesting things in terms of telecom. I mean, the whole idea of marrying technology, making it sustainable, being cost conscious, and putting it all together into something that comes through. In fact, he was saying that right now they're doing this very exciting project on electrical vehicles that India hopefully will be to replace all our petrol diesel vehicles. So, well, all I can do is welcome all of you to leverage IIM Bangalore. We are with you in this wonderful journey of Startup India, Make in India, So, thank you very much, and see you here. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Raghuram. The synergy between NSRCEL, IIM Bangalore, and TI through this platform has indeed been beautiful to observe. Okay, so it's now time for us to announce the 10 selected incubatees. So going to be incubated at the NSRCEL here at IIM Bangalore. The DST is going to be supporting each of them with 20 lakhs of seed funding. To give away these awards, I want to call on stage our next guest. She's been actively involved in spearheading the entrepreneurship culture in academic environments through promotion of 50 technology business incubators and science and technology entrepreneurs parks. She has played a key role in catalyzing value-added initiatives and services to foster innovation and the entrepreneurship ecosystem through various initiatives like business plan competitions, public-private partnerships, seed support systems for startups, etc. At the international level, she's been involved in entrepreneurship and activities in association with multiple organizations, and she's also studied the innovation ecosystem of several countries in Asia, Europe, and USA. I request Dr. Anita to please come up on stage, the Director and Associate Head of the NSTDB, and give away the award to 5 of our incubatees.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Just a minor correction. From 15 years scaled up to 100. So the
Brilliant. Yes. All right. So I want to welcome on stage, and please join me in giving huge congratulations to the team from IIT Kharagpur. Congratulations. Next up, the team from B.S. Abdur Rahman University. Come on up. Please welcome on stage the team from Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology. And next, incubatee, Sri Manakula Vinay Nagar Engineering College. Next up, the team from NIT Raipur. Thank you, team, and thank you, Dr. Gupta. And I want to call upon Shubhra Bhandari, the HR Director for TI India, to give out the awards to the next 5 incubatees. Please welcome on stage Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. Next up, the Dream Institute of Technology. Next up, the M.H. Sabu Siddique College of Engineering, Mumbai. The CMR Institute of Technology. And our 10th incubatee, Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheshwar Institute of Technology, Ujire. Thank you, Shubhra, and a big congratulations to all of our incubators. Our next guest is one of the 7 co-founders of Infosys. He served as the member of the board from 1981 to 2000. With his passion to encourage entrepreneurship in the country and help incubate startups, he founded the N.S. Raghavan Center for Entrepreneurial Learning, which is the hub of all entrepreneurial activity here at IIM Bangalore. As Vrinda beautifully summarized, the NSRCEL provides angel funding, mentoring on business aspects, and a network of the right connections for aspiring entrepreneurs to take their ideas forward. I now invite Mr. N.S. Raghavan, patron of the NSRCEL and member of the Board of Governors of IIM Bangalore, to tell us about how the IICDC and the NSRCEL nurture an entrepreneurial spirit. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone. Let me at the outset congratulate all the institutions as well as all the people connected with the India Innovation Challenge Design Contest for the excellent job that they've done. I have been told that there was an exceptional energy and enthusiasm from all the college students who participated in various stages of this competition, and this augurs well for the future of innovation in this country. What is very encouraging is that many of the business plans came up with solutions for several socially relevant problems. In the area of agriculture, there was a plan to reduce soil erosion, increase the yield, tackle lack of irrigation, etc. Other socially relevant problems addressed were to do with unhygienic public toilets, smart bus transport systems, smart stick for the blind, special types of spectacles for visually impaired, etc. In the finale today, the top 10 innovative ideas have been chosen to script the chapters in this Make in India story. NSRCEL, as you know, is one of the few entrepreneurship centers in India which has its own distinguished faculty. We have Professor Kumar, Professor Suresh Bhagavatula as 2 full-time faculty, and Professor Saraswati from Darden Business School as part-time faculty. All of them are exclusively focused on teaching and research in the area of entrepreneurship. Since 2002, NSRCEL has done excellent work. The statistics has already been given. I don't want to repeat it. But I wish to take this opportunity to mention a couple of special initiatives from NSRCEL, one on women entrepreneurship and the other on social entrepreneurship. NSRCEL has been offering women entrepreneurship program for over a decade now. Management program for women entrepreneurs, MPWE, has trained and empowered so far more than 1,000 women to take their ventures to a higher growth trajectory. The recently launched Women's Startup Program is supported by Goldman Sachs, and all the women who participate in this program do not incur any costs. To encourage and support women entrepreneurs who like to initiate, ideate, and implement their dream ventures, we planned a 3-step process. In the first step, women entrepreneurs had to join a 5-week online course under MOOCs where they listened to the lectures, completed the submissions, and then made their final pitch. We had 1,800 women join this program, and 300 women went on to submit their final pitch. In the second step, 50 women entrepreneurs were selected for a 3-week residential boot camp at IIMB to make them understand the viability and impact of their ideas and ventures. In the third and last step, 15 entrepreneurs were selected to incubate for 1 year at NSRCEL with rupees 40,000 per month as stipend. We recently completed 100 days of the third stage of this program. To give you a flavor of these ventures, Tina Pal has a venture to help dyslexic children realize their true potential. Go Crack It, founded by alumni of IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore, is a career advisory platform. Chetana Kaulagi has created Let's Tag On, which is a networking platform for volunteers and social sector institutes. NSRCEL has plans to launch a larger startup program that is spread across the whole country in November this year. I'm also happy to say that we have started a social incubator in collaboration with Michael and Susan Bell Foundation. We invited applications from NGOs who have been working for more than years on urban poverty-related issues. We selected 25 of these applicants and enrolled them in a 3-month program called Social Launchpad, which provided classroom sessions as well as interactive sessions with social mentors and experts. 15 of these NGOs made presentations recently on July 10th to the advisory board, out of which 8 were selected for incubation at NSRCEL for a 2-year period. Professor Kumar tells me it may go up to 15 or something. I am very happy that NSRCEL is being recognized as a center of excellence in India for creating and nurturing entrepreneurial ecosystem thanks to dedicated academicians, dedicated researchers, eminent panel and mentors of experts, distinguished alumni network, wonderful set of partners, and above all, strong governmental support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Raghavan, for that discourse on how entrepreneurship and the dynamics of the business world are rapidly changing, aided by platforms like, of course, the IICDC and the NSRCEL. I actually want you to come back up on stage because you're going to be giving away our next award. So it's now time to call upon the top teams of the contest. These are the teams who we believe have shown us a disruptive use of TI technology and have created differentiation leading to path-breaking solutions. The second runner-up of the TI IICDC 2016 is the team from Dream Institute of Technology. Congratulations, guys. Our second runner-ups receive a cash prize of 1.5 lakhs. Thank you, Mr. Raghavan, and thank you, team. Our next guest is widely credited with bringing in vibrancy in promoting the innovation and entrepreneurial acumen among a wide section of Indian entrepreneurs, ranging all the way from simple rural industries to high-end technological enterprises. During his 2 decades of association with the government, he has been instrumental in involving the private sector, both national and international, in the task of innovation and entrepreneurship development for India. Led by him, several companies are now involved in this task to bring world-class technology commercialization knowledge to the country. Please welcome the man without whose support the TI DST collaboration would not have been possible, Shri H.K. Mittal. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here, especially at IIM Bangalore, and especially keeping in view that I was not a very good student academically, and I can't do without this instrument, so I had to carry this instrument, and I'm not finding a place to keep it. Jokes apart, India is actually celebrating innovation and entrepreneurship. And today this function is part of that larger event which is happening all across the country. And first of all, my congratulations to all of you, not those who have won, but to all of those who have participated. While it is very encouraging to give awards, to receive awards, think of those who have not got it. If there are 11,000 people who participated in this event, we are honoring only 20, 30 at the most 50 of them. Imagine what is the plight of the remaining 10,950 people. And by no means their effort is any less. It is that participation, and in a country of the size like India, you have to encourage more number of people. And I'm very pleased when I was told that MOOC is one attempt which can cater to larger number of people. I think we need to find mechanisms by which we can reach out to larger number of people. Well, I must thank Sanjay Srivastava for his very kind words. Let me honestly tell you, I have not looked at my LinkedIn account for the last 2 months. And by that, I just calculated very quickly on the calculator. I have missed 480 such opportunities by not being so proactive. But I think you also need a little bit of luck apart from hard work, sincerity. And I think this was one lucky thing which happened, that we all came together. And I'm reminded of our first partnership with the private sector. But let me first tell you why we partner with the private sector. See, in government, we don't know how to do business. Let me frankly admit, we don't know. And we partner with academia. Most of the academic people do not know how to do business. So it is like 5 blind people trying to define the elephant. So we need to now look at partnerships. Of course, there's one exception sitting here, which is Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala. He is an academician and an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, which is, and this is a rare breed which is there. Now, we want to partner with the private sector because we want to bring in that commercial knowledge, that business knowledge, to the startups. So it's our attempt to, and let me tell you, it didn't happen overnight. I still remember about 13, 14 years ago, our first private sector partner was Intel. Their managing director, gentleman by the name of Frank Jones, who used to head the India operations, he came to me and we were talking about a program together. And as any government servant, I was also very suspicious what happens if Intel takes away all these bright ideas of these young students. So I openly expressed that to him. I said, Frank, this is my fear. So he laughed. He said, Mr. Mittal, for Intel, any business less than $1 billion doesn't make sense, because keeping that business inside Intel is a lot of overhead cost. And for your convenience or your comfort, I will say, we will not touch any business which is less than $500 million. And that's when I thought, if my startup gets to a stage of $500 million, I think he'll be wise enough whether to negotiate with Intel. So that's the beginning of the partnership. We have had several partnerships after that. And each partnership has a unique flavor, a unique quality. And I'm very happy that today we have this event, which is the culmination of the first year of event. With Lockheed Martin, we have 11th year going in the partnership. With Boeing, we have had partnership for the last 5-6 years. Now, I think let me not talk about the programs, and let me not bore you with the programs. I will end with one small story. See, entrepreneurial efforts sometimes do not succeed in the first attempt. You sometimes have to again get up and then, so the story is about that. I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds in Moscow. How many of you know Angry Birds, the game? Almost, at least the younger lot knows quite a bit. And some of the older ones also raise their hands thinking that. So, I had this chance to meet this promoter of Angry Birds. So he was telling me a very interesting story. He said, Angry Birds was our 52nd game. It was not our first game. Every Christmas, I would go home and we would have developed 1 or 2 new games. And I used to go to my parents for Christmas, and I would tell my mother that this is the new game which we have developed this year, and I would give her the iPad. So after the holidays, after 3-4 days, when we were returning back, so my mother, as any mother would do, would pat my back, "Well done, son, you have done great." So, and she would return my iPad. So he said, when Angry Birds happened, I did the same thing. I went to her, told her about Angry Birds. So this time, when I was coming back, she again patted my back, but this time she did not return my iPad. And then he thought that we have hit upon something big. That's the message. And when you hit something big, signal will come to you. Don't worry, failures would be there. Stand up, walk again. Thank you very much, and best of luck.
Mr. Mittal, please stay on stage. Thank you. So now I would like to call upon the first runner-up of the TI IICDC 2016. Please welcome on stage the team from IIT Kharagpur. The first runner-up get a cash prize of 3.5 lakhs. On to our next guest. I had an extremely long, extremely detailed introduction prepared, but he asked me to cut it all down and just introduce him, so that's what I'm going to do. Please welcome on stage Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala, the professor with IIT Madras.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And I was asked to talk about various social innovations that can be done. I decided not to. Let me talk about something quite different. Let me see whether I can connect to you people. I saw a number of youngsters have worked for a few months for a very particular contest. I think that's a very good beginning, but a long way to go. So what do you need to do, and what is needed? What can India do? I'm going to try to relate to that by giving a little story about something that I'm trying to do today. But I won't say I will try to do. I know that I will get there. I have been a professor at IIT Madras for long. 1981 I joined. 36 years I was at IIT Madras. Many, many times I was asked to come and join this, take over that. I refused. I, of course, have incubated a very large number of companies, have been on the boards of many companies and things like that. But, and was doing a lot of R&D. Wireless was where I did my major work. Worked in banking, worked in a whole lot of things. But every time I will be asked to go somewhere and do something else, I just would refuse, saying that I enjoy teaching, I enjoy being with youngsters, I enjoy helping them grow and set up their company. That is what I want to do. Unfortunately, a friend of mine became the Minister of Power in this government about 2 years back. I think most of you know him, Shri Piyush Goyal, and he was very close to me, younger to me, but together, we were together on the board of State Bank of India for 5 years. And he would one day just caught hold of me and wouldn't leave me, and saying that you come and join me as my advisor. As usual, I refused, and then he would start putting all kinds of pressure. So after some reluctance, I said, well, let me take leave from IIT Madras and do that. And I went to Delhi. The day I landed, while I was on the flight, When I landed, I was told that the money that you have in your pocket is no longer valid. So I actually landed there with all those 1,000 rupees and 500 rupees notes, which are no longer valid. And demonetization had happened. And for the next 2 months, one and 3/4 month, my friend and the minister was, though he was the Minister of Power and Renewable Energy, was actually totally busy in handling banks and handling all the crises that were taking place due to demonetization. And in fact, he wrote me in, saying, you worked with me in bank. You know enough, you started mobile banking, so you better help us get the mobile banking platform. I had no option because I knew that it was a difficult time. And in difficult time, you do whatever the person you work with needs to be done. So pretty much stayed there. I had actually gone to Delhi with 2 promises from him, that he will give me somewhat free hand to bring in electric vehicles in the country. And number 2, he will give me a reasonable free hand to drive renewables in the country. I remember fairly early when I went there, while the demonetization was going on, I sort of had put together that we should try to replace all the vehicles in India, IC engine vehicles, by electric vehicles by 2030. And to my surprise, he went and announced to the press. I don't think he understood, I don't think I understood what it meant, but we actually went ahead and announced to the press. The second thing that I had kind of envisioned is that by 2030, almost 80% of our power, the power should come from renewables. And even that he was quite okay with, particularly for announcement. And then, so towards the end of 2 months, I started doing a little bit what needs to be done and all that. And I remember he taking me to someone, and well, he took me to the Prime Minister, and pretty much on a corridor, and introduced me. Prime Minister knew me, so he asked, okay, Junjunwala, welcome. What are you going to do? And as soon as he mentioned electric vehicle, he made one sentence. Electric vehicle हमारे यहाँ होता तो है, दिखता नहीं है, दिखना चाहिए. I think all of you understand that much Hindi, that it is electric vehicles in India, some work is going on. It is not visible. It should become visible. It should scale up. The message was very clear to me that, and he mentioned that now that you have come, it will scale up. So it was very clear that we need to scale up. Now, the second thing that I knew, I was actually on the board of Mahindra Electrical, and I helped them drive, get the cars and all that. Knew that throughout the world, the electric vehicles happen with large amount of subsidy. And I mean, to my surprise, in fact, recently I went to US and I found out Tesla, for every Tesla car, the subsidy is between $15,000 to $18,000 for every car. That's a kind of subsidy that is, total subsidy that is available to this country. So the industry was sort of saying, well, we know what to do about electric vehicles, just get us a subsidy and we will do it. So, of course, I went, since the Prime Minister had said that scale up and make it really happen in a very, very rapid rate, I went to Finance Ministry and spent about 4 or 5 days sitting with every joint secretary, additional secretary, secretaries, and it was very obvious that Indian government just do not have scaled up money for any subsidy. I went back to my friend and to the Minister of Power and told him that this is what the situation is. He said, well, that's a challenge. Take it up. Now make it happen to scale without subsidy. And make it happen in 2017 itself. And that's your challenge. Now you have come, you do that. If you do that, great. If you can't do that, well, it's you who have failed. So I had absolutely no clue. And the reason I'm telling you about this, that what it means to entrepreneurship and development of the country and where it can take the country, you will actually understand that better as I go on. So for quite some time, for about 10, 12 days, I had absolutely no clue. Where to even begin? Because industry says bring a subsidy throughout the world. See, US gets so much subsidy, China provides so much subsidy, Europe provides so much subsidy. Provides us subsidy and we'll make electric vehicle happen. And here is Prime Minister telling that make it happen to scale, so happen to make it large, and Finance Ministry telling us there is no money. So After doing some preparatory work, I actually called a meeting. It's a very large meeting. There were about 70 companies. And most of the companies who came were CEOs or the top people. Mostly I knew most of them. So they actually came. And we said that it will be a one full day workshop on trying to understand the techno-economics and to see what does it cost. How much is the gap between what the market is ready to bear and what does it cost. We started board and major cost that of a battery. Now the cost of the battery is falling down very rapidly. Still the current cost of the battery such that you have no range anxiety and you can put it in the vehicle actually dominates the cost. I asked a very simple question. Whenever one goes to buy a car, the most famous statement that in India people ask is kitna deti hai? What is the mileage? What is the kilometer per liter? Now in electric car, you can't talk about liter because you're not talking about liter of petrol. So we have to talk about kilometer per kilowatt hour. Or you reverse it and say watt hour per kilometer. How much energy is required per kilometer? And with some hesitation, industry sort of said, for example, the number that came out in a three-wheeler, in an auto, all of us bought auto, is 80 watts watt hour per kilometer. I said, what does it take 80 watt per kilometer? Can it take less? What does it do to reduce that? So initially people sort of said, not too much. Somebody said, well, 70 watt hour per kilometer is certainly possible. So I said, well, that's a beginning, but we need to go much, much more. Can we reduce that further? Initially, everybody said, no. And I kept on pushing. What does it take to reduce it? Well, one of the gentlemen from TVS Motor got up and sort of said, we know what to do. The first thing, we use better motor and driver, we'll reduce that. And it's relevant to TI. But better motor and driver will increase the cost. And we are already negative. Don't ask us to increase the cost. I said, all right. First, I just want to understand. So better motor and driver. What else? It's a better tire. I said, what about better tire? Well, we know there is a better tire which has less resistance, rolling resistance, and that will improve. But we are using it in our cars. But if you try to use it in a three-wheeler, the cost goes up. But that will improve the watt hour per kilometer. What else? They said, well, lightweighting will improve because your weight carrier will reduce. So obviously, but that's a little long-term effort. Better aerodynamics. You can do something a little bit, but not too much. It's not a short-term problem. So we realized that two of the things, one, better motor and better tires will help. Both will increase cost. I said, okay, forget about how much it increases. What can we actually do? How much can we reduce? After some discussion, debate, they came up with the number that for a three-wheeler, and we did the same exercise for a bus, for a four-wheeler, and for everything. But I'm giving you numbers of a three-wheeler. Said we will be able to reduce it to close to 60 watt hour per kilometer. I said, good. From 80, we have come down to 60, but not good enough. Can we do more than that? And all the top industry, Mahindra, Bajaj, sort of said, no, I don't think anything better than 60 watt hour per kilometer is possible. Till there was one small startup saying, sir, I have a motor, like you people, maybe 1 or 2 years older to you. I think I can do 45 watt hour per kilometer. Everybody looked at him. What nonsense is he talking about? But a mid-sized company, a company which has been there, very small company, has been there for a long time. A company that DST has actually supported quite a bit, SK Dynamics in Roorkee, DSIR and DST has supported. Roorkee, small company. 4 or 5 people, very, very talented people. They said, sir, we have worked with this person. We know that is possible. And all the top big industries also says, no, sir, it cannot be possible. I said, well, we left the meeting that day saying that we'll do whatever is required because if we can get to 45 watt hour per kilometer, it will be absolutely wonderful. Believe it or not, in a month's time, the first prototype that these people put in a Bajaj three-wheeler, they opened up a Bajaj three-wheeler and put it in, and they gave the numbers to me, 48 watt hour per kilometer. I called all the industry, they looked at it, wow, It is possible. They said, we can do this now. By now, they were confident that they can do it. But of course, if not pushed, they would have been happy at 80 or 70. They were quite happy at 70. They said, well, we can do 45, 8. And since then, things have gone on. And one of the company, beat 45, came to 44. Another came to 43. And in fact, 2 weeks back, I got a call from Bajaj saying, we have hit 40 watt-hour per kilometer. Wow. What does it do? It reduces your battery requirement half. Whatever increased cost for motors and tires is one of it. It significantly reduces battery requirement. And battery is the dominant cost. Why have we not pushed ourselves to do the best? Because nobody has driven that. So we said, well, in that first meeting itself, we had put a target of 45 watt-hour per kilometer and saying, if we can achieve that, we will really do wonders. And I was confident because I had also worked on motors with some of these startups and all that. And that's where the startups come in. The large company will not take risk. The small company will take a risk. This is the first lesson that all of you know. You have to do risk. I saw risk-taking ideas less here. You need to do far more. If you are going to succeed in IIM, you need to be able to take risk. This is a time to take risk. Well, that was the beginning. But with even 45 watt-hour per kilometer, we had reduced the size of the battery to almost half, not half exactly, 55%. But still the cost was high. Saying at least some subsidy, sir, you get from us from the government. So we said, I had said that, well, frankly speaking, for scaled 10 million autos and rickshaws and things like that, and so many buses and cars, subsidy will not happen. Let's see what else can we do. Then we came up with sort of saying, what if we split that whole battery into one-third, and we use only one-third of the battery. It will not go the whole distance. We have planned earlier 150 kilometers for an auto, say it will go 50 kilometers. So people sort of say, yes, 50 kilometers. People typically use in an auto 125 kilometers in a day. So what will happen after 3-4 hours? You have to go and charge the battery. And anybody will say it will take about an hour to charge. And then you have to stand and you lose money. Nobody is willing to do that. So we sort of said, why won't we swap the battery? Why won't you keep a battery ready, which is charged, and swap it? Simple idea. It has been talked about earlier. It's not that we talked about it. But say, why won't we swap it? What are the technical challenges? And what does it do? So the people talked about challenges. I say all these are engineering challenges. These are not basic techno-economic challenges. Basically, if we work out techno-economics, we'll take up the engineering challenge. And there are enough other various people, and that's where startup matters, who will win us in the technical challenges. So says, what does it do? The question was, are drivers willing to accept it? So we did a quick survey. Drivers asked, how long will it take to swap the battery? That's the first question they asked. Today, for example, in CNG, they do that for filling. How long does it take? Will we take? We actually did by that time enough experiment and say we can actually do it in 2 minutes. So drivers said, well, 2 minutes is not a problem. How many swapping stations will be there? We are doing the survey in Delhi. And we said, well, we will do 300 swapping stations in Delhi. 300 swapping station, 2 minutes, no problem, we'll accept it completely. That was the more or less overwhelming driver's response. So great. Our second innovation means we don't have to worry about charging. The charging can all be done by somebody who will swap the battery and it will not be charged there. It will charge somewhere. So don't have to worry about it, all this setting up charging infrastructure. But that was the second thing that the industry was saying. Set up charging infrastructure, put in a tons of money, and then the whole thing will happen. Sorry, I've been given a little extra time. So Subra has allowed me a little bit. So let me complete that. So that was the second thing. And again, we took up that what they can do. The third, what did we do? This was helping us, but not enough. We then went on to sort of say, maybe we'll buy the vehicles without battery. Vehicles will be sold without battery. Because people are still talking about my capital cost will go up because my tire cost has gone up and my motor cost has gone up. So I said, what if you remove the battery and you sell the vehicle without battery? So what will happen without battery? How will somebody drive? So wait, just if you sell the vehicle without battery, what will happen? If you sell the vehicle without battery now, but with better motor and better tire, the cost of the vehicle will be less than or equal to that of the petrol vehicle. So capital cost is same. So nobody will hesitate to, as such to buy it if it functions well. So we separate that. And then we have a separate business, the energy business. Somebody else will buy the battery. Somebody will take its interest and depreciation, will take its charging cost and swapping cost, and will we make it available at 300 locations, for example, for a three-wheeler, so that you can swap the thing. We then calculated for them, that business, what is the cost per kilowatt hour. And from there, cost per kilometer, because that's what matters, the operation cost of a vehicle. We found that the operation cost of the vehicle is equal or less than the operation cost of a petrol vehicle, even taking the interest cost of 11 to 12% in India, which essentially means our capital cost is less, interest cost is less. You know, one of the major things that made difference out there is, we had done enough experiments. When you take an Indian vehicle in India and you try to charge it, your temperature in India very often goes to 45 degrees centigrade. And when you're charging a lithium-ion battery at 45 degrees centigrade, and you try to fast charge it in 1 hour, as opposed to that, you take the battery into an air-conditioned environment, because you have subbed it out of the vehicle. Now you can take it into an air-conditioned environment and charge it a little slowly, maybe in 2 hours. The life of the battery triples. Triples, which basically means the cost will be approximately 1/3. Of course, interest cost will add up a little bit, but not too much. So basically, cost per kilometer goes below that of the petrol vehicle. Capital cost goes below the petrol vehicle. What is the challenge then? The whole business challenge, techno-economics will work. As soon as industry understood this, there was a different industry. I saw in that room the excitement, the willingness to race. And they said, we will win. And we acted one more thing. We sort of said, what we will do is that we will somehow get one company, somewhere, one company, to go and buy 1 million three-wheelers from you. 1 million three-wheelers from you, and they will lease it out. They're a finance company. We can involve him. He is good at that. They'll lease it out. Which essentially, all the companies said, Mahindra says, I sell one vehicle at a time. Now if you are going to, if I am able to sell 100,000 vehicles, it's a very different ballgame. My cost can go, we can go and talk to TI to half their price. And they will for the components. If TI doesn't do it, we'll go to some other company. That is what entrepreneurship actually means. These 4 things put together, and the industry just went berserk. And this happened not just in three-wheelers. Then we did this for the buses. I remember this company, Ashok Leyland, and I'm sorry, I'm using the names. I'm hoping there's no media person out here. When they heard about this program, they were not there in that first meeting. They kind of were talking about something is being talked about in the government circle, not very desirable, is not going to win. Till one day, I just happened to be flying from Delhi back to Chennai to my home, and next to me was the CEO of Ashok Leyland. And CMD, chairman, and I think he's a CEO. Doesn't matter. So suddenly we knew each other, and he suddenly started talking that you have been talking about it. I don't understand that. I actually opened up my laptop and I sort of says, and see this. I have a program, why it will work. A simple Excel sheet, 40 lines, not more than that. You spend 15 minutes and then talk, let's talk. He took it and he was excited. He says, I never thought about this. Fortunately, CFO was also traveling in the same flight. His CTO was also traveling at the same time, though I'm told that most companies have this policy that all of these people don't travel together, but in this case, they were traveling. And they all came, they all saw that. And since then, they have become the biggest champions, such a champion of ours that it's big, more than even us. Then one day I really asked the CEO, how come you have become such a great champion of this whole model that we are doing? He says, sir, my plan was to sell 500 vehicles, buses in 3 years. And I knew that for that, I had to go and stand and beg in front of a joint secretary for some subsidy. Because each bus was taking about 70 to 80 lakhs rupees per bus as a subsidy. Now, what you have shown is the whole thing is economically viable. I don't have to go and stand up outside the room of a joint secretary. I will sell. I'm increasing my numbers from 300, 400 to 50,000. I'm going to sell 50,000 buses. And I'll not only take leadership in this country, but in the world. And since then, things have been moving. We are launching the three-wheelers with something like 80, 90. We have started making the batteries, we are making the chargers, we are making the vehicles, we are making all kinds of things, swappers, automatic swappers, robotic swappers, all kinds of things. Some of you, I saw the things where we were doing with vehicle, the remote monitoring and all that. All those kind of things are starting to happen. We are launching it, and there are 80 companies involved, most of them private, almost all of them private. Small, medium, large, a number of large companies. And in November of this year, we are launching the three-wheelers in 2 cities and then quickly going to 100 cities and towns. We are launching the bus program on January 26 of 2018. And our target is to get to something close to 3 million three-wheelers in about 2.5 years, and something like 50,000 buses in 3 years. And similarly, load-carrying vehicles, four-wheelers, etc., etc. Somebody did a quick calculation. He's saying you are going to require $1 billion worth of components. That's a kind of exciting opportunity India can create. India can create numbers. The only 2 countries which can create numbers is China and India. China will go and do things exactly the way the Europe does and United States does. They have money to do that. Fortunately, we don't have money to do that. So we will have to think differently. On every single thing, we have to think differently. We cannot copy West and win. We have to do it differently, and we will win. And we will become the leaders. I'm absolutely confident that in this area, we will become the world leader. And it is a matter of time after that our electric vehicles will completely replace ICE vehicles, much before 2030. And most of the energy is going to come from solar and wind. What I'm pointing out, if you take challenges, the number of entrepreneurial opportunities that come, number of technical challenges that come. Our strength is technical challenge. Our strength is entrepreneurship. If you are willing to put that in front, India can win. And I hope this becomes the beginning for you to get involved in programs. And programs is not related to only electric vehicles or renewables. You can take any area. Of course, you have taken a very, very big challenge of trying to transform agriculture. Non-trivial. It's probably going to take much more. Situation in agriculture, water is far, far more serious in this country than any other thing. But the most important thing, as Dr. Mittal told you, keep trying, keep working on difficult problems. Don't take easy problems. I was trying to see that you are taking easy problems. Take on difficult problems, because you can win by making a significant difference, not by making a delta or a minor difference. I wish all of you, I congratulate the winners, I congratulate those who have been selected to be incubated by this wonderful institute. I thank the institute, the Department of Science and Technology, and Texas Instruments for really running this challenge. I hope they go from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Professor Jhunjhunwala, could you please stay back? Thank you so much. Your energy and enthusiasm when it comes to the cause of electric vehicles was absolutely infectious. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the big one, the prestigious Chairman's Award for the TI IICDC 2016 goes to the team from Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology.
They don't look happy at all. I think we should change that. Huh? You should have danced by now.
The Chairman's Award has a cash prize of 7 lakh rupees.
Come, Joseph. Why don't all of you come? Come, Harita, come. Victor, sir. Subra, Swami. Come, sir.
the check here, and you kneel down, and we'll start it.
We're blessing you.
Professor Jhunjhunwala, please stay back for a few more minutes. I request Dr. Peter Bolita to present Mr. Jhunjhunwala with a token of our appreciation.
The TI team has gone for
Yes. No. Peter, Mr. Jhunjhunwala, could you please stay back? I now request our guests of honor to come up on stage. Mr. H.K. Mittal. And I request Peter to felicitate Mr. Mittal. Dr. Anita Gupta.
TI team, Sanjay Srivastava, the excellent standees and all the materials has been displayed for year long in the entire DST. And this particular chap is visible, is a brand ambassador of the whole contest, IICDC.
Ms. Anita, could you also wait back? Mr. N.S. Raghavan. And I just want to call upon Mr. H.K. Mittal, sir, and we wanted a quick photo op with all of you guys.
Why are you leaving Shubhra?
Shubhra, please come up on stage. Sanjay, please come up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the team that actually made today's competition possible. Please give a big round of applause for all of these guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Professor. I now call upon Shubhra to give the word of thanks.
So I would like to take this opportunity to offer a sincere thanks to many people who've made this event possible. I'll actually start with Professor Jhunjhunwala. Thank you for gracing the event. It was truly inspirational to hear from you, and all of us out here are really looking forward to India becoming the hub for electric vehicles. Mr. N.S. Raghavan, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for NSRCEL for all the mentoring that the participants have received during the entire course of the event. I would like to specially mention all the partners. To begin with, all the professors, mentors, evaluators at IIM Bangalore and NSRCEL, they've spent countless hours in mentoring the teams, and I'm sure they've played a role in where all the winners are in terms of their ideas. So thank you, everybody. Shri H.K. Mittal and Dr. Anita Gupta and our entire team of DST for partnering with TI, and I'm really hoping that this is just a start of a very, very long partnership between TI and DST. Team MyGov, I think that is really, I know that the event is getting live streamed right now, and I'm hoping that with this, it's reaching the entire masses across India. We would like to thank IIM Bangalore chapter and all the evaluators, mentors again, who have taken out time from their busy schedule to mentor the teams. I want to sincerely thank and congratulate Sanjay and the entire team of volunteers, of people at Texas Instruments who have actually taken out time from their day job and helped to make this event successful. So thank you. And last but not the least, all the students out here and even back at campus, all the professors who spend time with these students, I think it's only because of your enthusiastic participation that an event like this is a success. Just to recap, this year we had more new college participating. We had more than 600 colleges spreading across 25 states of India, and I was very glad to see a lot of entries coming from different parts and not just metros. And initially the team presented 2,500 ideas. And what we saw is, I think, a small percentage of it. And as many of the distinguished members said, that's just a beginning. Don't stop at failures, even if you're not part of the winning entry. And it just shows to me that we are really dreaming big. All of you, you're ready to take risks and raring to go. So again, thank you everybody for being here and making this event a grand success. Thank you.